The first speaker today is Al Bug, and he is it's actually bringing the first three-letter acronym to the conference. So GoThru Progressive Web Applications, PWA. Al, take it away.
Hello, yeah, I'm Al, and I'm the founder and the CEO of GoThru. Like what's GoThru? GoThru is the application we started 2 years ago with publishing to Street View, and we created the moderator, and then we started slowly going into the into the virtual tour market, because yeah, we have all these cameras right now and everyone shooting 360 images and they want to deliver like experience to people. So let's start it. And basically GoThru is the idea behind GoThru was to create an ecosystem where the images, like we have, for example, created a plugin for Theta, where the images are going directly from Theta to GoThru. We are talking with Insta360 about creating something similar there, and you get the images from the cameras into GoThru application, where you have the GoThru Moderator, which allows you to create a constellation. And then you can use that for publishing to Street View or just for the virtual tours. And then once you have the constellation, you can move to the second step, which is the overlay editor. And the overlay editor, we launched it last year. I was not able to be in presence in Tokyo, but yeah, I had my speech through Skype, and that's where we talked about it. And then you just create virtual tours, VR applications, PVAs, which we're going to talk today, and 360 video portfolios, all. So we try to be the only place, one stop for the virtual tour. This is GoThru Moderator, launched two years ago, and right now GoThru is the main Google publishing third-party platform, where we are publishing around 400 tours per day to Google, with an average of 26 panoramas per tour. So that's a big number. The moderator is very easy to use. Once it has a learning curve, but once you learn how to moderate, it's easy. It's very easy. I can myself go through a constellation that's 100 panels probably in about 2 hours or less, moderating the whole thing. So this moderator. Now, this is the overlay editor that we've launched last year, and when we built it, we had in mind the Photoshop, the same structure. So, and we have the plugin manager, where we have all the hotspots, type of menus, type of maps, navigational control bars, language, and then you have asset manager. You can upload all, like if you're familiar with WordPress, you can upload all your images in there. And then on this side, it's like the layers in Photoshop, where you have all the plugins that you added to your project, and then you just click on them and you have the setting areas. And you can set up the different plugins that you added to your project. Now, this is the main point, like in GoThru, and from the overlay, everything is somehow centered around the overlay editor, because that is a main distributor for all the VR experiences. One output that we have is the virtual tours that everyone knows, the web virtual tours, where we have different type of templates, like real estate dedicated templates with MLS and branded version. We have the different themes. We're going to launch soon a new theme. Right now we have only one theme. It's called the transparent theme, and then we're going to add a Berlin theme. Oh, and that's the themes. And then in the winter, what we've launched is the GoThru Navigator. GoThru Navigator is an application built for Oculus Go, Samsung Gear VR, and Android devices. And we are working on an iOS device. So basically, the workflow is you upload your images to GoThru, moderate or not, create an overlay, and in the overlay you add a menu, and boom, in the VR application you create a menu. You have a menu here, you add navigation, you have the navigations here, you have the hotspots, and we support text, YouTube, and image hotspots right now. And we are working on navigational hotspots and HTML hotspots. So that's coming soon also. Now, the nice thing is you don't need to code anything. You just build in an overlay editor, and you have the app in VR on all these devices. Now, let's talk about PVA and a bit the software delivery evolution. In the beginning, we had no internet, so everything was delivered via CD-ROMs and floppy disks. Updating applications was very, very hard. Now we have the internet and software companies that still deliver applications for desktop. It's easy, you just download and you update your application, but it's still a process where you have to download, you have to install an update. Then we got the mobile revolution, and with that the Google Play and App Stores, where software is delivered to you in through the App Store. Now, the problem with that is, I think about app stores like socialist governments, where everything is controlled by some deity, and no one likes that. It's really hard to push. I have experience pushing to Google Play. It's very good experience. But Apple, if you want to push an application through Apple Store, it's really painful, and the lengths of things that you go through. Now, what happened back in 2015 is a software engineer from Google came with this idea: let's marry an app for a phone with a website. And the result of that was a child called PVA. And the PVA stands for Progress Web Applications. So basically, a Progress Web Application is a website that gets installed on a phone as an app. And I'm really happy to announce that today any user that is GoThru user and created an overlay, a hosted tour overlay, can use this feature like the PVA with GoThru. So right now, our domain is tourmkr.com. So all you have to do is just switch the .com to .app, and you will get this message on the bottom at the to home screen. And the next thing, you add it and you see the app on your screen. Now, on Apple, it's a bit more like Apple is not that happy about the PVA thing. So they did implement it in Safari, but you don't see a pop-up message. You just have to click on the share button, and then you scroll a bit on the right, and then you have a button, and you click on it, and then you add the app to this home screen. Now, PVAs come in different breeds, right now the PVA that we have and we support in GoThru is all the JavaScript files that are related to this virtual tour are in the app. So that's what gets pulled on your device. The images are still on the GoThru servers. Now, the next steps, and probably that will be in the next month or two, we will have the option to get all the images also inside the PVA. So the PVA becomes like really an app, a self-enclosed app, no internet needed, on your phone that your clients can use like on tablet mode or anything. So that's the progress of like the PVA, and I'm not sure how much time I have. Also, I'm not sure I have announced, but for the VR, for the GoThru VR application, we just launched today the support for hotspots. So the hotspot in VR, it's really cool. If you want to experiment them, just come to our table in the marketplace, and you can see the YouTube video in VR playing. It's really, really awesome. So if I have some time, I can go really quickly and create PVA. Okay, so I have 5 minutes. So I will just go ahead into my account. I think this is my account. And I'm going to take a tour that I already have. And this tour is already moderated. And I'm just going to click on the overlay editor. And in this particular case, I've already added the map and let's add an extra hotspot somewhere in here. I'm going to click on add hotspot. We're going to call it video. And we're just going to grab a video from YouTube. Now, my kids are using my account, so you will see videos from my kids. So let's take, okay. So we can take, let's say, this video. This is actually a 360 video, so And we're gonna add it to the project. We're gonna select the type of hotspot as video, and we're gonna paste in the YouTube URL and click reload, and that will load. And we're gonna expand a bit the video. As you see, working with the overlay editor, it's really easy. And we're gonna save this. Now, I'm gonna go to the publish page, and this is our link for this overlay. And again, oh, I think I haven't moved the hotspot. Save. This one, so let's reload it. And we're gonna go to change the URL. So again, this is a hack because we just launch it, and later on it's gonna be directly on the .com. And I'm gonna click enter. This is on a Windows machine, but it's the same on a phone or an Apple MacBook, where you can go in Chrome and you have this install. And when I'm clicking install, it's gonna install this application on my computer. And this is the PVA, where we have it as an application installed on my computer. So if I'm going on my desktop, I can see the icon here. Now, one extra thing, and it's coming with the next version of the overlay editor, is you can upload your own icon. So the icon of the application will be your own icon. So no need to have GoThru icon in there. Just double click, and we have it. So this is, and you can navigate, like this is, I'm using right now different plugins in GoThru. You have auto navigation. Yeah, so if there is if anyone has questions, then I'm open to questions.
Okay, thank you very much. First question over here.
Thank you. My name is François Marc, and my question is for the PVA. Is it file containing all the content, or just a link to the online content?
No, it's the whole code of the tour.
Okay.
It's not a link.
Okay. It's shareable. You can share it.
No, the PVA is installed going to a website. So you go to the website, and as you saw, we have that like button, and you click on it, and the browser install it. Okay. It's not like right now the community is fairly new in the PVA area, and there is no app store for PVAs. Hopefully, I don't know, someone will come with an app store. The problem is, once someone comes with an app store, it needs to be adapted by pretty much every cell phone user. And then it's just like becoming a place you just go and install from that place if you want a PVA. But right now, you have to share the link, and you can share the link any way you want it, to a QR code, just a link, or whatever. Yeah.
I'm familiar with installing local web server on a phone or a headset, and playing web pages from local files. How does the PVA differ from that? Does it have a web browser built inside it?
No. No, it just uses, the PVA uses Chrome in this, or Safari as their, the container, but it is the player of the PVA. So, but it's not using a web server. It's not a web server. You don't need to install a web server.
So how does Chrome or Safari know to play this if it's not a web page?
No, it is a web page. It has all the content of a web page. It has JavaScript files on. It's just that all that content, it's encapsulated in one entity, like an APK, yeah, from like, it's just one, yeah.
So it's easier to install and activate than
Yes.
a local web page.
Yeah, it's just like, as you saw, like you just go to the, yeah. No, it's in here. So you just go to, just go to a page and you have add to screen, and that's it. Like nothing more. You don't need.
Do you have any? Oh, sorry. Do you have any access controls or access policies set up based on permissions? So when you go to download things locally to your computer, how is it open to anybody? Anybody can download anything, or how are the accounts set up for permissions?
So right now you need to have a pro account with GoThru to be able to create an overlay, like a virtual tour. Now, if you gonna choose to once the download, like the whole app is an app, and it doesn't need internet, you will need to like pay an unlock fee for that. And then whatever you do with that tour, you can do it. It doesn't need to be linked to GoThru anymore. Like,
So you're saying if you have an account with GoThru, then you can download it any tour?
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.